Let's revisit gear setup and badges, and let me show you how I do it, which makes it for me easy and maybe also for you easier. So for all my specific attack setups, I always make sure that I have this particular jewelry, the Lofty Crown of Honor, in my top right. And why? Well, because it basically affects all the attacks, so it's useful whether you attack with infantry, cavalry, spearmen, bowmen or mix. It's useful to have it there. And you also can see already here there is one small badge there, and the badge I just call my reset badge because when I have it there and it's this location, it's a pretty useless one, in my case the city wall bolster, and by simply clicking that badge all the other badges are then gone in my inventory. Let me show how it works. Well, for instance, this is my attack setup. I have here the Lofty Crown. I simply select a specific setup for badges. I do this one, fine, full attack, it's all there. You can see the Lofty Crown is there, and if I now click on my reset, it's all gone. Now, if I would have my, say, full attack on this specific Walmart gear, and I decide I don't want to go for it, I want to go for, say, an infantry spear setup. You can see now here that not everything is nicely attached to it. However, I still have that Lofty Crown there. Now that's not really an issue, because I can simply go for the full attack and it's there again. However, if there was a piece of equipment not present in this setup, I would have to manually remove them. And now with this Lofty Crown there, I don't have any issues, because it doesn't matter what kind of setup I use. For instance, I have here the infantry spear, or if I go, say, for my full infantry, I have always this piece of equipment there, and I can simply use it to delete everything. Let me just do it one more time. The game allows me. There we go. I just reset the stuff and it's all gone. Now, let me show you also something what I always take care of is, if I look at the badges, I always make sure that for every type I always have 8 that give me overall the best stats. So I just call it my rule of 8. So for instance, for my cavalry raid I have here 3 epic badges and 5 rare badges. I mean, of course I could upgrade this this bunch of badges to another cavalry raid badge, but then I would end up with one lower, and it's not really worth it overall. So you can see for everything that I always have 8 of the highest, and the moment I have more than 8, I can always see if I can make a combination which will give me a little bit more strength. Now let's have a look at the badge setup, which is pretty nice if you can do so. Let me show you how I have them. For instance, this is my full attack, and I just click on edit. And here I just have on all the ones, I have all the individual attack ones, and then afterwards I just pick up the strongest that I have. For instance, this one is my infantry health badge. I have a couple of those, so I fill the remaining slots up with those, and the rest I'll just use for whatever is strongest. Now this is just a full attack, so I just boost up all of them. You can also say, like, you want something different. Say for an infantry spear, you want to boost up all of your infantry and have also your spear attack being added. There's a nice feature that you have here. So for instance, let me just show you how I do it. I just first remove all the badges that there are, and then I'll show you how it's set up, and it goes pretty easy and smoothly. So So I know already I have my infantry, so I know I will use my infantry attack. And here's already very nice organized by infantry, so I just simply click. I don't have to even select where I put them, and I just click them until I run out of the highest ones. So that was my attack. Now I simply go to my defense, and lo and behold, I can simply do the same thing again, and I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to select any batch slot, it just simply goes in there. Well, my front line also needs health. Do I have health? Yes, I do have 5 of them at the moment, and I just empty them until I am done. Now I go for my spear attack, or it could have also been, let's say, cavalry attack if I was going for a inf cav setup for my badges, and I just do what I did before, click them all, and that's my setup, and the only thing I have to do is then save it. I just don't do it now because I already did it. So what I would recommend to do is the setup that you will have a full attack, which just is all of your best attacks, and then just go for your secondary stats, whatever floats your boat. Then use that reset badge and have that reset badge located on, say, your top right, which would be the lofty crown, and just have a useless one, so you can always get them in your inventory. Then have a setup for double lines, so in this case for me, infantry spear, or it can be someone else, infantry cav, whatever you prefer. And also to have one for your strongest one, which say would be infantry. And for some of them you can even use the same setup, because I only have in this case 3 medals for my infantry, so there's always 1 slot available. In that case I just fill them up with spear. So I use the same setup of badges for infantry solo or infantry spear if I use double lines. Now the same I also would do, let's say if I have spear front, I can simply put in my spear badges. I don't have any health badges of spear or anything else like total attack, total defense. So I simply just add the attack and defense, and since there is a slot available, I just fill them up nicely with cavalry attack and infantry attack, so that my spear front would work for a spear line only, but also would work for spear cav or spear infantry. Well, since we can plan, it's always very nice and useful to know what you have. Okay, it has been almost reset. It is actually reset. So when I know that our events coming up where I'll get my medals, I just simply go through my inventory and I just have a look like what would be useful to have more badges for. For instance, I can see already here I have 1 legendary infantry assault badge and 8 epic badges. So I know that I can have more epic badges. So the moment I see them coming up, either in the narrator event, or I see them coming up, say in this case it's even coming up soon in the alliance mobilization, I always try to pick first my infantry attack. If I don't see anything from infantry attack, I just go for the spear attack, because those are my strong ones. Until eventually, hopefully, I'll have all those attack patches gold and I can go to the next one. So this is how I set up my gear, how I set up my badges. For me it's easy, and maybe after you have seen this video it will be also easier for you to set your gear and badges up.